Hello, welcome all. As usual, welcome to today's aftermarket analysis session. This is the aftermarket analysis session for the Indian markets Nifty and Bank Nifty, where we discuss what happened in the market after the closing of Nifty and Bank Nifty, where the buyers showed interest, where the sellers showed interest in PO. Okay, and basically we discuss exactly where the buyers came in on the footprint, where the sellers came in, and we try to read the footprint thoroughly. So if you are new and want to learn order flow, want to learn how to read the footprint properly, you can join this live session daily at 5 p.m. The link for this live session is uploaded on the GoCharting's Telegram and Discord community before 5 p.m. Additionally, if you are using GoCharting at that particular time, our link is also uploaded in the notification at the top right corner. As soon as you click on the notification icon, notifications will pop up. Then you can go to the webinar. Here you get the webinar link. For those who are unable to attend the webinar, you can watch the recording of this webinar on all the YouTube channels of GoCharting. The most official channel of GoCharting, which has the most subscribers, is where we upload in English. And then you will find it in Hindi on GoCharting Hindi and in Arabic on Arabic channels. Links to all these other YouTube channels and the GoCharting community are provided in the description. Okay, Omaitu. So today let's look at Nifty to see what happened with Nifty today. Okay. Before analyzing the order flow, let's also check the confirmation from the volume profile to see what the volume profile indicated. Okay. Meaning what was the confirmation from the volume profile in the past few sessions, which led us to draw these white lines and levels. So if we look at yesterday's Nifty, it was like a roller coaster. Okay, its resistance zone was this. We marked this resistance zone. Sorry. Its volume node's high area was this. Okay. Yesterday's high came somewhere around here. And there was also a small volume node here. So how did we mark it here? One was yesterday's weak zone, and this was also a consolidation zone for the past 2 to 3 days. So we drew this line accordingly. The volume profile gave confirmation for this line. This line was the high area of yesterday's market volume node. And there was a small volume node formed on the upper side, which we marked like this. In case this breaks, then the volume profile had a line. And how did this line come here? The volume node of the past 2 to 3 sessions was here. We can extend this line a little bit like this. So this was the confirmation of the volume profile. Okay. Now, based on this volume profile confirmation, we will see where the buyers showed interest when the Nifty at that market opened today, where the sellers showed interest, and how and what happened where. Before reading the footprint properly, you should know what delta is, because we are going to read the footprint here with the help of delta. Now, what is this delta? And how will we use it? So in simple language, delta is the difference between buyer and seller to read the footprint properly. Now, how is this difference between the buyer and the seller? Like the first candle we picked, okay, the topmost value of this first candle. This is the delta value, 1,86,000, meaning you can add 3 zeros. All right. So 1,86 means 186,000. The delta value of the first candle is this much, 186,000. Firstly, this value is inside the green box. And secondly, there is no negative sign in front of this value. So that means this is a positive delta. And a positive delta directly means that from the buyer side, I can say that there is a positive delta here or I can say that there are more buyers within this candle. As a comparison, so the seller. Now this delta value here is 1,26,000. How it did is formed within the footprint. On the right side, we have buyers, and on the left side, we have sellers. This multiplication on the left side is the seller, or on the right side is the buyer. Let's take a round of figure number for understanding. We combined all the buyers on the right side, okay? Their total came to 2,86,000, 6,000. And when we combined the sellers on the left side, let's assume the number came to 1 lakh. So a difference was created of 1 lakh. 86,000. And on which side did the difference appear? On the buyer side, the buyer is more. So this became a positive delta in the green box, meaning the buyer is more and it's positive data. Okay. Now, let's pick this candle. What is the delta of this candle? It's inside the red box. And what is the value? There's a negative sign. So it means this is a negative delta. The value is inside the red box. And there's a negative sign. So that means this is a negative delta. A negative delta directly means sellers. Whether I talk about negative delta or sellers, it's the same thing. In this candle, there were more sellers, 33,000 as compared. So how were there more sellers than buyers? Like in the previous candle, I showed the calculation. Okay. In that one, there were more buyers. Same. Similarly, in this candle, there were more sellers. Okay. Now, we are getting a summary of each candle. For whichever candle's delta we are observing, it is clearly evident who is more powerful within that candle. For instance, consider this candle. We saw a positive delta indicating more buyers. For this candle, we again saw a positive delta indicating more buyers. And for this candle, we saw a negative delta indicating more sellers. Now you might be seeing two types of delta values. How two types? I mean positive delta and negative delta. I will talk about both in the same context. For example, the first candle, okay, the third candle, the fourth candle, and the candle at 950. The delta values of these candles are very high. And like this candle, the delta value is only 900, only 24,000, only 6,000, okay? Again, only 3,000, 4,000, 2,000, 6,000, 8,000, meaning some candles have a very high delta, like around 133,000, 70,000, and some candles have a very low delta. The candles with heavy buying and heavy selling have a very high delta. And these are the candles that help move the market and clarify the market's direction, giving us some solid confirmation. Candles with a very low delta do not have the potential to actually move the market or provide any solid confirmation. So what we will do is focus on the candles with heavy delta, whether it's positive or negative delta, and we will click on those candles and read the order flow. The first candle of the day usually has heavy buying and selling. So compare the buying and selling zones of the first candle carefully. You can continue to follow Nifty until 3 o'clock. The order flow from 3 to 3:30 is also a bit typical because it's the market closing time, and positions are squared off. The first candle is important because any overnight positions are squared off when the market opens. So, how will we read the footprint? We saw the delta of the first candle, which is quite heavy. Assume any candle with a delta above 30 to 40,000. We will pick those candles and read their footprints. What confirmation did the first candle give? A solid delta above 100,000, confirming that there are more buyers than sellers in the first candle. On the buyer's side, the right side. When there are more buyers in this candle, what's the point of reading the sellers? So, what will we do? We will go to the buyer side and see the place where the most buying has occurred. Like, look at this. A bike for 132,000. A bike for 1,32,000. A bike for 83,000. a bike for 87,000, and a bike for 68,000. What did we see? We saw the delta, a good substantial heavy delta, which indicates that there are more solid buyers. We went into the footprint within this candle, went to the buyer's side, and identified the place where the most buyers are. And which place is that? This is that place. Almost throughout the entire candle, there are more buyers here. Okay, we marked the footprint. Now we need to see what happens after any buying or selling activity, like the buying activity within this candle. Whether the market goes up or down after that buying activity. What happened here? The next candle was also within the same buying zone. What happened within the next candle? Another buying attempt was made. Buying at 68,000. Okay, where did the most buying occur? At 42,000, 34,000. The same. In this candle as well, what are we doing? We saw a heavy delta. Heavy delta is on the side, went to the cut print on the buyer's side, in this candle on the buyer's side. And where did the most buying activity occur? Look at this. It was at 42,000 and 34,000. There is also buying activity here at 14,070, but it doesn't have as much potential in these buyers. Okay, where is the most potential, where the most buying occurred? This is the buying zone. What happened here? Let's go from the first candle. In the first candle, a significant number of buyers came in. The second candle also came within the same buying zone. The third candle broke above once, but came back into the same zone. This means that this zone, either it should break upwards properly or break downwards. Okay? It broke upwards once, came out significantly, but again came back inside. Selling happened, but still stuck within the same range. Buying, selling happened. And this candle finally broke this buying zone. Which candle broke it? Look, the 950 candle did, and in this 950 candle, the delta. What confirmation is it giving us? That yes, it broke, but it broke with heavy buying, a delta of 5 to 850, a delta of 8 to 50, one back to back. It broke with solid buying. So far, which candle's footprint have we rated? The first candle, the third candle, the fourth candle, and a 950 candle. Because it is in these candles that we have seen heavy delta, meaning heavy buying and selling, occurred within these candles. Okay? It broke. The positive delta of 85 broke with substantial buying. So again, what will we do? We will go to the buyer's side and mark the zone where the most buying occurred. Look here. Buying of 40,000 and 77,000. We went to the buyer's side quickly. Read it once. Where the most buying happened. The most buying was 77,000. Then less buying was 40,000. We marked these two zones. What happened next? In the next candle, there was also substantial solid buying. Even though the candle is red, what confirmation does the delta give us? There was very substantial buying, a positive delta of 38,000. Order flow helps you in this way, even if it looks like a red candle. There was only buying inside this candle. There was no selling at all inside this candle. What happened next? Now this zone has been broken, so we can delete it. The exact same buying zone was broken, The exact same buying zone held. Look here, positive delta. And see this, negative delta, but how much is it? Very little, only 4,000, 2,000, and look at how much buying occurred, 85,000. And how much selling is there? 4,000, 2,000. So this is not a sign of any selling. And the main thing is that the same zone is holding with repeated buying activity. The first buying activity occurred. And with the second buying activity, the price started to move upwards. A pullback came, it held well, the market held nicely, and after holding, a solid rejection was seen up to where yesterday's high was, near the note that was made there. Okay, a simple thing. What have we done so far? We followed the buyers. What confirmation has Delta given us so far? Buying, buying. This slight selling, a little bit of selling. Okay, buying and buying. This buying started to move the price. A pullback came to the buying zones, and there was a movement to the upside. Okay, let's look further. We found two more candles with heavy delta. Look at this, a delta of 41,000 and a delta of 40,000. Again, if we mark the buying zones of these candles, they are from those buying zones. Now here is a little twist. The twist is that buying came in the buying zone. But after this buying, the price did not go up. Look at the difference between this and that. The difference is that buying came and the market held beefing above this buying, good buying, came in here, but it did not go above this buying. So this was a slight confirmation that yes, there is some light buying absorption above the resistance, but still everything is bullish. A slight confirmation came that buying absorption has occurred. It came back to the pullback, again held a bit. But now a twist had formed here that initially we had clear ranges. Initially there were clear ranges, but now there was some light buying absorption here. Okay, now either it breaks to the downside or this buying zone where the buying absorption happened, that zone should break. Even if people go from here, there isn't much benefit. The risk reward ratio will be very low. It held well in the same zone, but still resistance was just created above. And this is the resistance where the buying absorption happened. Hold, it happened up, and then finally it broke this level. See, this level couldn't hold that much, and where it ended up. Whenever a buying or selling zone breaks once, then it doesn't remain as effective. Like this buying zone broke here at the 1140 candle. Now it is not going to be as effective. We can delete it. The market came to the point where it came from the buying zone of your first candle. It held well. Look, there was some light selling observed. Selling at 26, selling at 30. Which zones are selling at 27 and selling at 37? What happened after this selling? The market went up. So what does this mean? It means that there is some light selling absorption happening here. Now look, the order flow itself has created our support zone and resistance zone. From here, there were one or two rejections, and after that, the entire Nifty moved sideways. Consider that. After 12 o'clock, today the entire Nifty was only in this zone. If I mark this in red color, look, after 12 o'clock, Nifty went sideways today, but what confirmation did we have initially when this uptrend came? We had solid confirmation. What was it? In the first candle, there was buying. The third candle broke the buying zone on the upside, held, and we saw another solid buying. After that, a pullback came to the buying zone of this buying candle, and we saw an upside movement. Then there was some light buying absorption here, which confirmed that buyers were starting to get absorbed somewhere. This zone acted as resistance, and after that, the market went above it to where the morning support zone was, and the market laughed there. Then it started taking light rejections from here. We got confirmation here that there was selling absorption. Okay, this was today's Nifty. Now, whatever doubts you have, please ask and discuss with me.